Okay, well, we are trying something a little different today. One, I'm a little quiet because the roommate is sleeping, or Brian, if you are familiar. And we are going to try our hand at some tabletop games today. We are playing some one-page rules using my 40K minis. And it's going to be a 40K themed one-page rules Grimdark Firefight match. I'm using the co-op slash solo play versus AI. So giving that a shot for the first time. The quote-unquote AI controlled faction is going to be these Chaos Space Marines here, or Havoc Warriors, using one-page rules parlance. And it is made up of a handful of units. We have a small group of cultists here, 3 cultists in a unit, just a bog standard legionary. He does have chosen veteran though, so he will hit on 2s, and a plasma gunner behind them, a mutated warrior, and finally a a chaos cultist leader. I don't know why that took me so long to think. But yes, these are all set up. The game has been set up using the way the rules are presented in advanced rules, page something or another. I don't know. But yeah, so it's a fairly symmetrical battleground. We have the setup points as detailed in the rule books. One over there, one in the center, one over here, one down here, and of course one over here. Now for my faction, or the player side of things, we have a Guardian Protector. It's an Elder Guardian, whatever it is in one-page rules. I think it's an Elf High Elf Fleets Protector instead of a Guardian, but I mean, we know. Another one back there, a Elven Noble, and the very far end over there, a Shifter, right, lying in wait for an assassination target. But yeah, we have not rolled to see who goes first, but I will do that. Okay, simple enough. The white dice will be the AI, and the black dice will be me, and whoever wins this roll-off will go first. Oh, it looks like the AI will. All right. Well, I will go and begin their movement according to their AI tree. I'll be back in a second. All right. I did previously have this set up into the 3 table. I was going to say quadrants, but quadrants is 4. Tridents. And then removed them, but I've re-added them because the activation requires it. So, rolling a d3 to see which section begins. Let's see, what is that? That is a 2. And by the way, if you think this d3, with a chaos star and 3 outcomes but 6 sides is neat, and you have a 3D printer, check my Colts page in the YouTube video description. Anyway, that was a 2, so there's only 1 unit in 2, which is easy enough. I'm going to move them according to the decision tree, and I'll be back. Okay, so first activation with the possessed, or the mutated, rather. That is difficult terrain that I put in the center there, and so it has moved partially onto the capture point. But reading the rules for difficult terrain is actually not something that me and Bran have used very often. It says it can only move the 6 inches when passing through it, and I would assume passing into it. Pass means passing through it, so I don't think you can rush into it. So it's just going to stay on the edge there. But yeah, I believe that means it counts as capturing the point there in the center. So yeah, that is that one's turn, and it will now move on to the High Elf fleet. And, oh, I forgot to mention, you're probably like, why is the sniper here? What are they doing? They had scout, and after I set everything up before the video, did their scout move. So they scout moved to there. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to select them. And measuring the line of sight to that melee Chaos Warrior, it does give it some, the target I should say, it does give the target some protection and cover, so we will roll for it as if it were in cover. Now the sniper does have reliable, so it will hit on a 2-up no matter what. And I don't believe it has any AP. No, it does. AP 1. 1 attack, 30 inches. Well, within 30 inches. Reliable. So hitting on a 2-up. And then with cover, that Havoc Warrior, or Havoc Brother, will save on a 4-up. Well, back down to a 3-up. So just negating the AP. Now, I don't have any fancy elf dice at the moment, but I do have these eyes. So try not to shadow. And that looks like that's a 5. So that definitely hits. And it will be saving on a 3-up, like I said. And by the way, if you think this eye is kind of neat as a dice, it's also available on the Cults page, if this would get into focus. Focus, damn you. Well, it was a 3. Focus. A 3. So it's saved. Back up to the AI's turn. We're going to roll another D3 and see where it lands. Well, that was a 2, and the 1 on 2 is already moved. So, it says clockwise, so it would move over to here. And there's 3 units there, and just going from 1, 2, 3, we'll roll it again. That was a bad roll. There we go. 3. So that will be the Plasma Gunner. Okay, the Plasma Gunner, following its AI tree, has advanced, or done a single move, up to there to keep itself somewhat in cover still, and be able to fire at the sniper that shot at its friend. And I do have some painted chaos dice. Now the plasma rifle fires 1 shot, hitting on, what was that? 3-up at AP 4. So a pretty hearty hit if it actually goes through. Ooh, it does go through. Now we're not playing with crits, but that is a guaranteed success. And with AP 4, even with the cover, that sniper will need to roll a 6 to save against it. No such luck. So it takes a wound, which would normally kill it if it wasn't Firefight. But we're going to roll on the injury table. So rolling a d6, and again, don't have any fancy elf dice, but I'll use the eye again. Rolling a d6, adding 1 to the roll because it took 1 damage. And if it gets a 6 or higher, it dies. If it rolls less, it will just be shaken. Alright, that is a... Oop, let me get that on camera. That is a 1. So it is just shaken. Annoying, but not deadly. That will be its shaken. And we're going to keep track of how many wounds it has taken for future rolls. I'll leave that. Okay, back to the elves. I'm going to move the shifter at the far back. Nothing too exciting for this one. The shifter is just going to move behind cover and capture the point. Back to the AI's turn. Time to roll another d3. That is a 3. And there was only 1 unit on 3, making this easy. actually, they're just going to actually stay there, but help capture the point. Back over to my turn, I'm going to move this Guardian and try and see if I can't get a line of shot. There we go. Can't see if I can't get a line of shot on some of them. Now the Elves do have fast, however, unfortunately for the Guardian, its gun only has a 12-inch range, and I don't particularly want to move it out into the open quite yet. Back over to the AI. I would roll a dice for section of table, but all of them except for section 1 have already gone, so I'm just going to roll a d3 for those two, and on a 3 or on a 1, re-rolling, with 2 being the guy in green and 3 being the cultists, because there's 3 of them. Alright, it is the other guy, the chosen veteran warrior. He is going to move, and I will be right back. According to the AI tree given for the AI controlled units, he is going to move and capture the point. Double move and capture the point. So nothing too interesting. Next up, I'm going to move my other Guardian there. Okay, the Guardian has moved. He's right behind the box and is within 12 inches of the mutated brother, so he is going to fire his weapons at him. The High Elf Fleet shard guns have 2 attacks and rending, so 6s have an extra effect, and we'll see if we get any. He will be hitting on a 4 up. Ooh, unfortunately, neither of those hit. Okay, now moving on to the last AI unit that needs to be moved. It will be the cultists. The cultists have moved kind of out into the open. Really not sure which point they're going to head to, since both are controlled. I'll get a control marker on there. And they have 2 different types of weapons, their heavy machine gun and their auto rifles. They do have line of sight for that Guardian that moved forward, but it will be in cover. So they will fire at him. Cultists are not exactly known for their discipline or skill, so they hit on 5s, starting with the auto guns, firing at the Guardian or the Protector, whatever it's called in this, hitting on 5s. Oh. 1 hit, no AP, and the Elven Protector is going to save on a 5 as well. Oh, that is a 3. He does not save that. So, rolling for a wound effect, a d6 plus 1, and if it's a 6 or higher, he will die. He did not. He is just shaken, with 1 wound on him. Next up is the machine gunner of the cultists, still hitting on 5s, but firing a blistering 3 shots into that Guardian. Ooh, that is 2 successes. There is no 6 special effect, but it has no AP, and it will be in cover. So in cover, the Elder Guardian saves on a 4 up instead of a 5. I don't remember if I did that last turn. I will double check in editing. Could be wrong, but we'll find out. Oh, the 5 saves, but it takes another wound. Now for his wound roll, we will take the wound he's already taken and this new one, so it'll be a d6 plus 2 on a 6 up. Well, it would be, yes, it will be a total of 6. I'll double check in editing. I think he is fine. He might have, I'll find out. Ooh, that's a 6. Luckily, that means all the things I was double checking when it came to his wound roll don't matter. He's dead. Okay, back to the Elven turn. The Elves' turn. Last unit to move, the Elven Noble, is going to make a move somewhere. As much as I would like to move him, if I do move him, he won't be able to capture that point, so we're going to leave him for now. Going into round 2, the AI actually holds more points than I do, with 3, and me only holding 2. I am down 1 while they are not down any. Future reference for myself, I also need to remember that shaken units get a -1 to their saves, which may have affected the Guardian in some way, but he died, so we'll just consider him dead, and I'll double check in editing if there was any major thing I overlooked. But we're heading into round 2. Starting round 2, the AI Chaos Warriors will get to start. So I'm going to roll their d3, and it's a 2, and I'm going to extend the lines all the way across the board to see which group that actually activates. But that will be the Mutated Brother, who is now able to also move off of the point because it is under his control until someone else takes it. Now, the Mutated Brother has double moved, actually, around the point to get within melee using a charge move. And so we'll be able to strike the Guardian that's hidden behind that box. Okay, beginning, the Chaos Mutated Brother has a special rule. Whenever in melee, rolls a dice. That's a 5, by the way. And depending on the result, gets a different effect. For a 5, he gets AP1 in his next melee attacks. So, he gets 2 attacks, and he will be hitting on a 3. Ooh, that is 2 successes. The Elder Guardian saves on a 5, which now is down to a 6. It will be pretty hard for him to save 1, let alone both. Oh, but he does actually manage to save 1. But he does take a wound, and so we will roll his wound effect preemptively, but let me double check. I do believe that takes place after the melee. And he rolled a 1, so he'll be fine, shaken, but just wounded. It does not specify that they become shaken after the melee, so I am going to treat him as being shaken from here on out, including when he strikes back. So he has 1 close combat weapon, and that does not hit. But the Mutated Brother is pushed back out of melee. Moving over to my turn, I'm going to move the Elven Noble up to try and get some shots into that Possessed that just attacked my Guardian. Changing perspectives, the Elven Noble is going to shoot at the Possessed. The Master Shard Pistol has 2 shots, and with Rending, so bonus effects on 6s. Two 3s. Luckily, they do hit on 3s. The Mutated Brothers, or Mutated Warrior, has a save of 4 up. No AP on the weapon, so just your standard 4s. Okay. Saved 1 at a 4. Failed 1 at a 1. Rolling for his wound effect, as always, d6 plus 1. And that is not it, but he will be shaken. Back to Chaos, we're going to roll another d3 to see who activates. 1. 1 is... 1 is this side here. And so we'll roll a d3 with 1, 2, 3 to see who that actually activates. 2. The Cultists. The Cultists have advanced or single moved up towards the center of the board to get shots into the leader of the Elves. A blistering fusillade of damage is on the way, but first they need to hit on a 5-up. These are for the auto guns. No dice. Next, the machine gun. 3 shots. 3 shots hitting on a 5-up, once again, into the Elven Noble. No dice. Very lucky for the Elven Noble. And that will be their turn. Next up is my turn. And I'm in a bit of a conundrum. Double checking the rules, the sniper's reliable weapon says the weapon attacks at a quality of 2-up. While being shaken, it gets it a -1. So I'm interpreting that as the 2-up will become a 3-up. Seems pretty fair. Or if that isn't the case, feel free to let me know. But Sniper is going to shoot at the chosen veteran, as it is a pretty decently strong melee threat. Okay, also important to remember for myself is that the sniper has stealth when it comes to incoming fire, which I have not been applying. But in the future, put a little marker to remind me. But they're going to shoot at the goober there, hitting on a 3-up, as we discussed. That hits. It has AP1, so they will need to save on a 5-up. Ooh, they do not make it. They will take the wound, and again, rolling the d6, +1, we will see what the result is. They are fine, but shaken. Which halves their movement, so good for them. Back to the AI's turn, rolling a d3 to see who goes next. 2. Well, everyone in 2 has already gone, so we're going to roll it again. 1. The plasma gunner, down here at the corner, can still go. The plasma gunner is going to move up to here, and choose to shoot at the Elven Noble. As much as it pains me, the plasma gunner gets 1 shot, hitting on a 3-up. They hit. With AP4, they will only be saving on 6s. Wow. Quite the roll. 6s auto-succeed, so even with AP4, they are fine. Moving towards this side of the table, back to my activations. The shifter is going to use its teleport ability to move 9 inches. Now, this unit I'm new to, but as far as I understand it, it is still able to do a normal move / charge, which, double moving with fast, should put it within range of melee of the cultist champion. The shifter is going to use its dual shifter picks to make 2 attacks against the cultist champion, hitting on 3-ups. Those both hit. It has poison, but there is no special effect on a 6 to hit. The cultist champion is going to save on a 5-up, no AP, but re-rolling natural 6s because of poison. Doesn't matter, takes 2 hits. It has toughness, so it is down to 1. And it will strike back. It makes 2 attacks, hitting on 5s, 1 hit, and the shifter saves on a 4-up. It does not. D6 +1 for its wound effects. 5. That might kill it. Let me double check. Assuming I'm understanding this right, a D6 +1 is a 6-up, meaning the shifter is killed. Unfortunate. I was hoping for big things. Next up, the only unit left to move themselves is the cultist champion, and they're going to double move towards the point that they do not hold. The only unit I have left that hasn't activated is the Guardian from the beginning. They are shaken, so I'm going to spend their turn to remove their shaken token and put that back. And we will be heading into round 3. My apologies. There was one unit that hadn't gone yet, and that is the chosen that had captured this point to begin with. According to the AI tree, the move they would make is to charge the nearest enemy. So, my assumption would be that it would be the sniper. The charging unit has a sergeant close combat weapon and actually has a plasma pistol that I haven't used, but I think they're going to be doing just fine in melee as they hit on a 2-up due to chosen veteran, making 2 attacks. They hit 1. Perhaps I was wrong, but actually it would be a 3-up because of shaken. So they don't hit at all. Striking back though, the elf. The sniper has a close combat weapon with 1 attack, now hitting on a 5-up because of shaken themselves. No dice. Now we will be moving into round 3. Moving into round 3, the AI is still winning with 3 points, and me with only 2, and I have now killed 2 of my units. Well, I have killed none, but I have wounded their leader at the far end of the board. Because I finished activating first last round, it is my turn, and I'm going to start with the Elven Noble. The Elven Noble has moved as close to the point as possible, and also get cover from the crater to hopefully capture it, assuming it survives, and is going to fire 2 shots at the mutated brother in his back. 2 shots hitting on 3-up, 6s vending. Ooh, that's a 6. The 2 does not make it, but the 6 is AP4, meaning that the mutated brother will have to save on a 6. He does not do it. Takes 1 extra wound. I now understand the proper sequencing of these, hopefully. D6 plus 2, 6 or higher, he is knocked out. Ooh, no such luck. But he remains shaken. Back to the AI's turn, rolling a D3 to see who activates. That is a 2. And I will say 1 through 3, 4 through 6. Starting with the possessed. Now, there are 2 units within range. However, the Elven Noble is the one that is a threat of capturing the point and possibly turning the tide of the battle, so he's going to charge into the Noble. Starting with his mutation ability, he is going to get rending on his 2 attacks, so 6s will be at a -4 AP. He attacks at a -1 because of shaken, so he will be hitting on 4-up. Ooh, that's a 6. The 3 fails. But this is the one that might put some damage finally onto the leader. At -4 AP, he can only save on a 6. And he does it. I am pretty sure that is his second 6 to save. Someone is looking out for him. He is going to strike back. He has a leader close combat weapon, which is 2 attacks, hitting on a 3-up with no AP. Those both hit. No special effects for the 6s. Normally, the mutated brother would be saving on a 4-up, but because he is shaken, it is now a 5-up. No results. He now has 4 wounds, a d6 plus 4, and finally, he is taken down. A hardy foe, due to the powers of chaos. Returning to my activation, the Guardian behind the box that is no longer shaken is going to move and try to get shots in on the leader of the enemy group. The Elder Guardian is going to fire his shuriken rifle, let's be real, into the cultist leader. 2 shots with rending, hitting on 4-ups, 1 hit. The enemy will be saving on a 5-up. No such luck. It is now taken below its toughness, and so is treated as needing to make a wound roll like everyone else. I will track down the wound dice for it, but d6 plus 1, and on a 5-up, because it is a hero, it will die. Ooh. Let me double check. Sadly, I misunderstood the 5-up thing, so it is actually fine. It is taking a wound, but is still shaken. And I will track down a shaken token for it. Back up to the AI's turn. We will see who it activates. 3. Looks like it will be the leader. Being a hybrid unit, this will fire using the assault rule to fire its pistol into them on a -1 to hit, and then charge them with a -1 to hit in melee as well. The shred pistol has 3 shots, hitting on 6s because it is shaken. No such luck. And also because it would take a -1, but again, like I said, at the moment, I don't think it will make much of a difference. 6s are the way to go. It charges into melee, or she charges into melee, and rolls 2 attacks, once again hitting on 6s. No such luck. The Elder Guardian can strike back, however. I believe it hits on a 4-up, and has a combat weapon only doing 1 hit, but it hits. The Cultist Champion saves only on a 6 because of the negatives it takes. That was a 3. It can now possibly die. Rolling a d6 plus 2, it needs to get over 8 actually because of tough. No such luck, but it is still shaken. And it moves back out of melee. Back up to my turn. I'm going to have the sniper shoot at the plasma gunner because I feel like it. That's it. Hitting on a 3-up because of shaken. That is a 3. It has AP 1, so its 4-up save will be 5-up. No such luck. D6 plus 1. It is wounded and shaken. And hopefully that means it will be less of a threat in shooting against the more important units. A noble sacrifice from the sniper. Well, we'll see, but probably. Next up, it is the AI's turn, rolling the d3. 3 has already gone, so we'll re-roll that. 1, and there are 2 and 1, so 1 through 3, 4 through 6. They have a plasma pistol, but with the negatives, I think they're just going to charge. There we go. They make 2 hits, hitting on a 3-up because of Chosen Veteran and being shaken. Luckily, the 6 does not have any special effect. They will be saving on a 6-up. No such luck. D6 plus 2 to see if they are fully knocked out. Ooh, they are not. They can strike back, hitting on a 5-up because of shaken. That is a 1. And they are pushed back out of melee. They are holding longer than I would have thought. Okay, back to the Elves. I don't think they have anyone to activate. No. So, back to the AI's turn. Starting with the Plasma Gunner. The Plasma Gunner is going to... What's it going to do? The AI tree does not specify that it can remove shaken, but I think it will just a conundrum. I think it will still try to fire at the sniper out of vengeance. It is shaken, and they have stealth, but I think they are within 9 inches. Oh, they are not. Not quite, at least. Not quite. I want to give them a fighting chance. Maybe this is cheating. But with shaken and stealth, a -2 to hit, so the 3-up becomes a 5-up. 1 shot. Does not hit. Next up are the cultists, who are going to move and contest the point. The cultists are going to move to the center and in cover, in fact, to keep the Elven Noble from capturing the point at the end of the turn, and are going to fire at the Elven Noble. 2 shots on a 5-up. 1 hit. And I will say he gets the benefit of cover, as no line can be drawn. No line can be drawn from any one point to the other fully. Again, maybe I'm just giving him a fighting chance, but he'll be saving on a 3-up because of cover. He makes it. Machine gun into Elven Noble, once again hitting on a 5. 1 hit, and once again saving on a 3. And he is fine. But that is everyone's activations. As we go into round 4, it is now tied for points, but I am still losing and units lost, and we will see how it goes. Starting out, it is me and my turn. How do I want to do this? I am going to have the Elven Noble assault into that group. So he's going to fire his shard pistol at a -1. So now hitting on 4-ups. Those both hit, and that 6 is actually rending. But we will hold that to the side, I think. Actually, we can, well, let's find a different colored dice. Those both hit, and the squad of cultists have cover. So saving on a 4-up, except for the one with rending, which only saves on a 6 because it is -4 AP. They do not save this one, but they do not save this one either. That was a weird way of phrasing that, but they take 2 casualties out of the squad. And the Elven Noble makes a charge with Assault, and he uses his close combat weapon, which I believe is also 2 attacks. It is 2 attacks, hitting on 4-up because of the negative from Assault. 1 hit. The cultist saves on a 5-up because they are a cultist, and they fail. They take a wound, and d6 plus 1, since they are the last model in the squad, they make the wound roll effect. Ooh. A 5 plus a 1 is a 6, so they would be knocked out. Good job to the Elven Noble. No one is down to half still, so don't have to worry about morale at the end of the turn quite yet. And we will roll the d3 for the AI. 2, the one squad that got wiped. 3, the leader. They're going to do an assault against the Guardian. 3 shots again from the Splinter pistol, I think it is, into the Guardian. Hitting on 6s because of assault and shaken. That is 1/6, and it has rending. So the Guardian will need to save on a natural 6. No such luck. It takes another wound, and d6 plus 2 now. Ooh, he is still alive, but he is shaken once again. And charging, hitting on 6s for the close combat weapon. No such luck. The Guardian will strike back, 1 hit, hitting on a 5-up because it is now shaken. Ooh, that is a 6. They take a wound, and it is now d6 plus 3, needing to get an 8. That is a 3. No such luck, but they're still shaken and pushed out of melee. The tide is turning in the favor of the Elves once again. Back over to the Elves. I'm going to have the sniper at the far end over here fire again at the plasma gunner. 1 shot, hitting on a 3-up. Ooh, no such luck. Unfortunately, that is the sniper's turn. For the final 2 units here, rolling 1 through 3, 4, and 6. 4 through 6. 4, 2, 6. There we go. Once again, it is this one charging into the sniper. 2 attacks on a 4-up because of shaken. They both hit. This time, the sniper is probably dead. Saving on 6s because of shaken. 2 wounds. Go 4 d6 plus 4. The only way it will survive is a 1. No such luck. The sniper is gone. Moving back to my turn. The Guardian at the far end is going to fire at the leader using its shotgun, hitting on 5-ups because of shaken. Ooh, the 6 hits and is AP4. The only way it can save is a 6, but that was going to be the case anyway, because it's a cultist and it's a shaken cultist at that. No such luck. 1 more damage. D6 plus 4, and on an 8, it is slain. The Guardian has done it and taken out the leader of this little warband. There is only 1 chaos unit that can activate, and that is the plasma gunner, who is going to move 6 inches this direction to fire at the leader. 1 shot at the leader of the Elves, hitting on a 4-up because of shaken. No such luck. The tides are turning back in favor of the Elves as we finish out this turn. Both squads, or both teams, I should say, are below half and will need to make a army-wide morale roll. And we will just begin with him. It is a quality check, so it is a 3-up quality, not affected by chosen veteran, going to a 4-up because of shaken. That is a 5. He is all right. 4-up because of shaken for the plasma gunner. That is a 2. He is already shaken, and if he fails this, he flees. Next up, the Elven leader, one of the most important ones, because he is the linchpin on if he'll be able to hold that point and win me the game. He has a 3-up, and we'll see. Oh no, he rolled a 1. Well, he does not flee because he is not shaken yet. He becomes shaken and cannot hold a point while shaken. Finally, the Elder Guardian at the end, he will roll on a 5-up because he is already shaken. And he does it. An absolute trooper. So, we are once again tied and going into the 4th round. However, we will see. Right now, the AI holds 2 points. I hold 2 points, and the one in the middle has a unit of mine on it, but he is shaken, which he will hopefully be able to undo. At the moment, I'm going to declare victory for myself. As much of a joke as that sounds, because the only way the enemy will be able to outtake a point would be to move, but he is shaken, so he will need to stand still to remove the shaken token, thus passing his turn. I will be able to remove mine. He could shoot with the plasma pistol or attempt a charge, but he will still be shaken, and he would need to get through far too many wounds at a full wound toughness hero to be able to do it. So instead of playing it out, I'm declaring victory for the Elves and myself. Congratulations me. That was pretty fun. I'm very quiet and low energy for this video, which isn't usually the way I am when it comes to recording, but this is the first time doing this, so it's a little strange for me. But that being said, I'm hoping to make more, so stay tuned. And like I said, if some of the fancy dice, not including these, which are not up, but say this D3 with my logo on it, you can find at my Colts page, if it would focus, which will be linked in the video. But thank you for joining, and look forward to more wacky games in the future with either just me or me and my friend Brian.